Good morning. Today is April 26th. The time is 10 a.m. and I'm calling this curriculum committee meeting to order. We have all members present and I need a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
4-0. I need a motion to approve the meeting minutes from March 22nd.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
4-0. And the EC literacy curriculum, is that Dr. Rogers? Are you going to give us that information?
Yes, I'll go ahead and start off. Good morning, board members. Thank you for coming together today. We have two agenda items to discuss. The first one is an action item. So I'd like to introduce Dr. Laura Beecham, the Director of Exceptional Children's our programming, and she's here to first talk about our EC literacy curriculum. So Dr. Beecham, I'll turn it over to you.
Good morning, board members. I appreciate your time this morning. It's a joy being with you this morning. So we have the purchase of the new revision of the SPIRE curriculum that is on the agenda. It is our curriculum that's used in our K-5 resource classrooms and some of our specialized setting classrooms. It is up for revision for the new edition.
Okay, so we're using ESSER funds for this year, and then next year it'll go into our regular budget.
Yes, ma'am, that is correct.
Okay, great. I move that we send this to the full board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 4-0. And I think Dr. Beecham, you have an EC update for us.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. And I'm going to see if Ms. McSheehan will just pull up the PowerPoint. I believe that has been uploaded in board docs for you. Right. Good morning. Thank you again for your time this morning. Just wanted to take a few minutes to go over some EC updates. I'm Laura Beecham. I'm the Director of the Exceptional Children's Program. So it's great to see all of you this morning. So if we can just go to the next slide. So I wanted to start off with just a few things about how we connect with parents within our district in regards to exceptional children's and processes. So we have several different avenues that we use for this, and we're always improving. We have recently revamped our website to make it more user-friendly, updated resources. We advertise things like summer camps and community options that are available for parents. Also, our school social work department does what's called a lunch and learn. It is hosted bi-monthly virtually for parents. They have different community partners that come in and talk about partnerships, EC processes, and resources that can be available to parents. And we can move to the next slide. We also train a school contact in each building that's known as the Special Needs Administrator. That is a specific identified assistant principal that serves in that role. They attend meetings and are a point of contact for families in regards to understanding EC processes and compliance, so they can help answer any questions at the school level. We are excited to announce that next year we are going to introduce parent training opportunities for our families. That is currently under development, but our autism specialist and one of the program specialists are putting a variety of trainings together that'll be available for teachers and parents on how to connect between school and home. And other opportunities that we have for our families is our snack committee. So that has been around for several years. I'm excited to say that we've had successful meetings this year. We have only one parent vacancy. We have a vacancy in the Forest Hills District for a parent. So we are welcoming any interested parent to fill out an application that can be found on our website. We do have our last meeting of the year next week. So we are continuing to work on outreach for other parents and getting information into the hands of families. So I wanted to touch a little bit on spring games. We are excited that May 16th and 17th are our dates for our Special Olympics Spring Games. We are working on finalizing the details and the preparation. Sun Valley High School is our host site. So if you are around on May 16th and 17th, we invite you to join us. Opening ceremonies will be at 10 a.m. Our students and volunteers will begin to arrive around 9:15 for check-in. And our rain dates are going to be May 18th and 19th, and we'll use those as a first come, first served basis. So wanted to talk a little bit about some of the behind the scenes preparations for spring games. Last week we had our transition fair, and on LLC, a representative from that company came and was able to outfit all of our students that came to the transition fair with a pair of new athletic shoes. So they are ready for spring games. So I've included a couple of pictures here. It was an amazing sight to see. And then when they came back for the evening sessions with their parents, I saw them walking in the doors with those new shoes on. So that was great to see that. We are very grateful for their generosity to our students. So looking at the IEPs and 504s, this is just a side-by-side snapshot of the difference between an IEP and a 504. Basically, an IEP includes the identification of a disability that requires specific instruction for that disability. The 504 recognizes the disability, but it does not have the instruction piece, it just has the accommodations. This is a visual that kind of includes the breakdowns of supports with students when it comes to students with impairments. It's just a visual to show how more restrictive it can get, with that specialized instruction in the middle being the core of the IEP. So an IEP is essentially based on an identified disability through state guidelines. It's reviewed annually at minimum. A parent can call an IEP meeting at any time to discuss goals, objectives, or concerns, but it outlines a goal and a plan for a student to work on throughout the year. All of our IEP and placement decisions are based on what we call the least restrictive environment, and this is essentially the placement with non-disabled peers of their same age as much as possible. So we encourage that mainstream and getting out into the general education as much as possible. This next slide does include just a brief overview of our programming in the district. This is our specialized setting class options for our students that need more intensive programming other than co-teaching or resource. So we have on the first column is the names of the classes, the abbreviations. The next column is the grades that are served, and then the third column actually tells you what those initials stand for in that first column. So you'll notice that there are some that are specific to K-8, which is our CBSS and our ECS classes. And then we have others that are specific to our high school, such as our TTA, which is our transition to adulthood. Those are our grades 9 through 12. When we get into high school, there are essentially two options for students to choose from based on their ability and their IEP. So the occupational course of study is a traditional diploma that incorporates community-based training and work skills and competitive employment hours in order to obtain that high school diploma. And on the right-hand side, we have the extended content standards, which is the option that our students in our transition to adulthood class participate in. That is focusing on vocational preparation, and they take the Extend 1 alternate curriculum instead of the standard EOCs. As part of a post-secondary preparation programs, we have a few options in our district that our students are able to take advantage of. I've listed a couple here. We have Project Search that is located in Atrium Health Union. It's been a very successful program where our students in their final year of high school that are in our TTA programs are able to go and work as an intern at the hospital to learn employment skills. We have partnered with Evoke Rehab that provides support and job coaching on site. This has been a very successful program that we look to continue to grow in our district. And then we also mentioned STEAM, which they meet once a month. That does incorporate our OCS students. And then we have the Coffee Nut, and I can't thank the community enough for the support of the Coffee Nut. It has reopened this year, in February, and it has been very successful, and the students are thriving in there. So we do appreciate the community support. And the last piece that I have up here is the community-based vocational training options. The first part is for our TTA classrooms. These are the selections that or the opportunities that we have for our students to go into local businesses to work on those job skills. So I have listed there the businesses that we partnership with that. And then the chart at the bottom is where our students in our OCS that are earning the high school diploma through work hours and community-based employment, those are the partners that we have with those businesses there in which our students participate. So that is EC as an overview. So I'd like to open it up to questions if anyone has any questions regarding any of the content or EC.
Are we going to do this PowerPoint at the board meeting? Because I think our other board members would like to see it. Or we could put it in under informational and put the slide deck in there.
I'll refer to Dr. Houlihan and Dr. Rogers on that.
Yeah. We can do what you think is best if you want an overview. So my understanding is we present the overview at the board meeting, or are you saying we just have the presentation available as well?
We'll have a conversation about which to do.
Okay, sounds good.
Up to Dr. Houlihan.
I think whichever decision is fine, but I agree. I think at a minimum, providing it to the full board
Yes,
as an
definitely.
FYI.
Okay.
Could you give us a, and this is just for something, can we have the number of 504s in IEP by school?
Yes, I don't have that information in
No,
front
I
of
know
me,
you don't. I know.
but that is something that I can tell you. I know that as a district, we serve in IEPs a little over 4,200 students.
And Dr. Beecham, are you finished, Ms. Hontel? I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I didn't want to mess up your train of thought, because I know I'll forget. The IEPs and the 504s, when parents receive this information, are there some type of some type of maybe workshops that parents have to go through so they would know the difference between an IEP and a 504?
So when parents, when they're at the meeting, that is something that our administrators are trained on in discussing what it means and what the process means. They're also given a parent handbook of rights that outlines what their rights are, what the process is, and where they go to have questions, either at the local level or state level. We do plan to, when we have our parent trainings into next school year, we do plan to incorporate some of that information to where if they need some extra, if they have additional questions, they can come to some of those sessions to find out that information.
Okay. How about if somebody is, parents coming in with a 504, where can they go to look at accommodations?
On their specific plan or just what their options are?
For what their options are, because I think that that's a lot of things that I hear from parents. They don't know the option. So they have the 504 plan, but then they're like, oh, well, I didn't know I could ask for more time, or I could add a separate classroom for testing or whatever. But is there something that does that training helps too, or what?
That is something that we can create awareness to in the training. I will say that each school has a 504 coordinator that receives training on what options are available as far as accommodations. And then when they sit down in the meeting at the school level, they should be talking through the needs of that student
Based on what's going
individually
on.
to decide what's appropriate. And then they can discuss, you know, which accommodation would be appropriate for that student to help them access.
Thank you.
I have a couple questions.
Okay.
Okay. The last I received we got a list of all the specialized setting locations. This is the 21-22 school year. Could we get a current list?
Yes,
for
ma'am.
that? And then if there's any proposed changes for the 23-24?
Yes,
as
I
far
can
as
get that to you.
those specialized settings. Thank you. And let's see. How how are you going to get the information out for this new parent training that you're working on for next school year?
So what I'll work with the communications department on looking at social media platforms for some advertisement, but we always send it through our teachers and our administrators to send home with students, and then also include in Connect Ed and ask them to put it on their social media as well.
Okay. And then the snack meetings, which that's a cute acronym. If the parents, like if there's a parent, but they're not a part of the committee, but they maybe have an issue that they want to, have them talk about, is there a way that they can reach people on the committee?
Yes, ma'am. On our website, we have a Special Needs Advisory Council tab, and there is a parent chart that has contact information. We have the email address of that parent listed there. We discussed as a team not adding cell phone numbers, but they are able to reach out through email and contact their representative for their cluster.
Okay. Do the EC teachers, especially the ones in the specialized settings, do they ever like get together to brainstorm and share best practices?
Very good question. Yes. So we have a very extensive professional development calendar that we run each year through the EC department, and we have what's called job alikes. So we divide our teachers into job alike groups so that they can learn with their colleagues. So all of our teachers that are in a resource setting are participating in PD together. All of our teachers that are in a CBSS classroom are in PD together, and we have a hybrid of virtual and face-to-face.
Okay. My last question, I have two more questions.
Okay.
There's a lot of ESSER money that I know is tagged for EC. Like, what kind of things has that gone towards for the EC department?
Very good question. Majority of our ESSER funds was used to catch us up on evaluations that we missed during COVID closure. That was a large portion of our funds. We did add in some additional curriculum resources and electronic platforms for students and teachers to use as a resource for students. And then we have also last school year used it for providing some additional EC services during the Summer Bridge Academy.
So when you say to catch up with evaluations, do you mean you hired people to help with catching up?
Yes, we paid contracted school psychologists outside of our district.
The different job training that they do they also do something to help them with job placement after they leave UCPS?
So our community-based vocational training teams work with them, and then we partner with the rehab that will work with the schools and the families on job placement post-secondary.
Okay. And like, do you keep track of like how many, when they leave, have a plan?
So we do have a report that we have to turn into the state. I believe it's every 3 years. We have to call and find out, and typically it's basically calling families to find out what are you doing, how are the kids doing, to find out if they're in job placements. So some we're able to keep in touch with, some move away and we're not able to find out. But through that reporting, we try to find out how our students are doing post high school graduation.
Okay. And so do you feel like we're pretty successful with a good percentage of reaching?
I really do.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
My last thing is just, I'm really happy that we got the pairing with On Athletic, because I was happy they wanted to support our students for that event. So that's fantastic.
I really appreciate that.
But thank you. Does anyone else have comments, questions? No? All right. Well, that was just for discussion. And then I guess if you can have it added to just however you want to do it, if you want to do it just informational at the board meeting.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Okay. Our next meeting is May 24th at 10 a.m. via Zoom. And I need a motion to adjourn.
So move.
So move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.